Hello everyone, I Neha Patil welcome you all to my channel Data Structure Concepts. Here you will learn all the basic concepts of data structures. For more information, visit my channel and don't forget to subscribe it to get updates of latest videos. Today we are going to see the concept of array data structure. So in this video we will see what is meant by array, how to declare array, how to initialize array and memory representation of array. So these points we will discuss in this lecture. So you are all are aware about the primitive data types like the integer, character and the float. Okay. So whenever I am writing like suppose integer a is equal to 5, then at that time this a is nothing but what? A variable which is of type integer and which is going to contain the value 5. So first we will see how this variable is stored in the memory. So suppose this is the memory locations are there. Suppose these are the memory locations. Okay. You can draw like the vertical also, but for this space utilization I have drawn it in the horizontal direction. So now this is a is the integer variable. So normally in typical compilers integer is going to contain the 4 bytes of memory. So 4 bytes is nothing but what? It is equal to 32 bits because 1 byte is equal to 8 bits. So 4 bytes is nothing but what? The 32 bits. And now whatever this 5 is there, actually this 5 is stored in the binary format in the memory locations. So that means what here? The binary format of the 5 is what? We are writing like the 101. But now it will be stored in the 32 bits. That means whatever be the previous 29 bits are there, that are the 0. So this 29 bits are the 0 and last 3 bits are the actual value, that is the 101. So now we will see how this will be stored in the memory location. Suppose the starting address is like the 100 is there. Okay. So 4 bytes are nothing but what? This 100, 101, 102 and 103. So these 4 locations or these 4 bytes, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry. So these 4 bytes will be used for storing this 5. And in here if you see each byte is nothing but what? The 8 bits are there. So it will be stored like this way. Suppose these are the 4 bytes are there. So these are the first 8 bits. These are the second 8 bits, third 8 bits and the last 8 bits. So here the 000, here the 000, here the 000 and here the 00101 will be stored. So in this way this A will be stored in the memory. So hope you have understood how the variable is stored in the main memory. Actually every time whenever we are going to store any variable or any value in the memory location, then binary value of that will be stored. And here this 100, 101, 102, 103, these are the just I have taken this, actually whatever the memory address is there, it is present in the hexadecimal value, which are always going to start from like the 0x, then whatever be the other value is there, which is always the hexadecimal address is there. But for our understanding purpose I have taken the values like the integer 100, 101, 102 like this way here, and in such a way that integer is stored in the memory location. Now we will go further here. Now whenever we are going to see the concept of the array, array is nothing but what? It is a collection of elements of similar data types. So what is this use of this array here? Now suppose I will erase this. This is a single declaration integer a is equal to 5. That means a is going to contain the value 5 here. Now suppose I want to store the data of the 50 students. So 50 roll numbers suppose I want to store here, or 50 numbers I want to add here. So at that time what we have to do here? we have to declare either the 150 different variables. So can you imagine if we are declaring the 50 different variables, then after that if we want to do the addition or if we want to do the further processing, then it will not be the good as per the programming perspective. So instead of that, in a single variable, if it is possible for me to store the 50 variable, then that is nothing but what the concept of the array is there. So array is nothing but what? It is a collection of elements of the similar data types. So the similar word is very important here. Whenever you are, now how we are declaring the array? We are declaring like the integer a, and here in square brackets we have to specify some size. Like suppose I have specified here the 4. So this is the C or the C++ declaration I have taken here. The declaration of the array in Python may be different, in the Java it is different. So now in this video we are going to see about the C++ declaration. So whenever I am declaring like suppose the integer a of 4 here, then that means what here? This a is nothing but what the name of the array, and it is of type the integer. So it is going to contain the 4 integer elements. That means maximum 4 integer elements I can store in this integer array. So this is what the declaration is there, and this is what the meaning is also there. So now how it will be stored here in the memory location? So as we know that these are what the 4 variables are there, and this is what the type integer is there. So that means what here, as is each variable, single variable is going to contain the 4 bytes here. So total 4 into 4, 16 bytes will be reserved. So that means from starting from this suppose 100 till like suppose the 115, the 16 bytes will be reserved for this array. And these are what the contiguous memory location. It is not like that the first, whatever be the first variable of the array will be stored at these 4 locations, then the second variable will be here, then the third variable will be here. It will not like this. Contiguous 16 bytes memory will be allocated for this integer. So this is very important. Always we have to remember, array is nothing but what? It is the collection of elements of similar data types, and it is going to contain the contiguous or the sequential memory locations. So like in this case, if the starting address is the 100, then 100 to 115, that 16 locations will be reserved for this integer array. Okay. And now while declaring, what care we have to take here? Always we have to specify the size here. That means some constant value we have to declare here. Like integer, I have declared here like the integer 4. That means I can store the maximum 4 elements here. So what is the meaning here? Whenever we are writing the statement like this way, then at the compile time, your memory manager is going to allocate the 16 bytes memory here. Now it is not necessary like I have written here the 4 value. So that means here always compulsorily I have to accept the 4 values. That is not the case. You can accept the 1 value, you can accept the 2 values from the user. But maximum is what? You can accept the 4 values. If you want to access the 5 values, then it is not possible, because the static size we have declared like here the 4. So that means only maximum 4 values we can accept here in this case. Okay. Now how to initialize the array? I can initialize like this way also. Like suppose integer a of 4 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can initialize like this way. In the square, in the curly braces you have to write the values. Not necessary always you have to write here the 4 values. You can write like this way also. Like 1, 2. Only 2 values also you can initialize here. Whatever the remaining 2 locations are there, it will be stored with the zeros or any garbage value there. So like this declaration is also allowed here. So this is what the initialization is also there. This is what the at the time of the compilation. You can accept the values from the user also there. So if you want to access the values or if you want to take the input from the user, then at that time, as we are going to take here the array here, so we are going to accept here the 4 values. So we have to use here the for loop. So the C++ declaration will be like this way here. Suppose integer I is equal to 0, I is less than 4, I plus plus, and then here we can write like the C in, and whatever be the array is there, array name is there, that is the A of R. So here by using this declaration we can accept the 4 values from the user. So this is what the at the runtime we are going to accept the values from the user, and this is what the at the compile time we have initialized the values here. So this is what the array declaration and the array initialization is there. And as we are going to accept here as we are going to use here the for loop for accepting the values, same like if you want to display the array also, then at that time also you have to use a loop, and instead of cin only you have to write here like the cout. So this is what the printing of the array is there. So that means we can at the time of the accessing also and at the time of the printing also we have to use a loop while printing this array here. So this is nothing but what the array declaration, array initialization, and the how to access the array and how to print the array. And here again here suppose I want to find out the particular address of element, any particular element in this array, then how to find out that? So if we know the base address, then I can find out the address of any element of the array. Like suppose I want to find out the address of this 2 here. Okay. So at that time we have to use a formula like this way. So the formula is like b plus I into size of that data type. So b is nothing but what the base address is there. I is nothing but the index of which you want to find out the address, and the size of data type is nothing but what the whatever be the, if it is the integer array we have to take the integer size, if it is the character array we have to take the character array, like that way. So for this example, suppose our base address is like the 100 and I want to find out the address of this second element, but this second element index is what here the 1, because always we have to remember that array is always going to start from the 0th location. So we are saying like this is the 0th location, this is the first location, this is the second location, and this is what the third location is there. So this index is nothing but what the first index is there. So we can calculate like this way, 100 plus 1 into size of data type. So normally we are saying like the for integer 4 bytes are required. So this is the 4. So how it will become 100 plus 4, that is the 100 and the 4 is there. So this is what the address of this second element is there. So if you see here, these first 4 locations 100, 101, 102, 103, these are reserved for the first element, and 104 is nothing but what the starting address of the second element is there. So by using this formula we can calculate the address of the any element of the array. And one more thing is what the major advantage of the array is nothing but what the direct access is there. So direct access is nothing but what, by using this indices we can directly access any element of the array. Means what? Whenever I am saying like suppose the a of 0. So a of 0 is nothing but what, the first element of array, that is nothing but the 1. So directly it will give me access to the first element. Whenever I am saying like the a of 2 is there, then that is nothing but what, the 3 is there. So it will directly give us the access to the second element of the array. So this is what the major advantage of the array is there. We can directly access any element of the array by just using the index locations. Sometimes we can start the array from the first also there, but normally we are going to start the array from the 0th location. And one more thing is what? Array name also indicates the base address of the array. Whenever I am saying like the a is there, then a is nothing but what the, we can say like the it is going to give us the base address of the array also there. So these are what the some basic concepts related with the array. Now we have seen the advantage of the array. Advantage is nothing but what, the direct access is the major advantage. Second is what, we can easily implement this array. So it's easy for the programming purpose also. And the disadvantage is what here, this what the declaration is there. As it is the static declaration is there. So this is what the only the disadvantage of the array. How it is the disadvantage? Like suppose I have declared here the integer a of the declaration is like suppose the integer a of 50 is there. And if for the integer, if we are taking the 4 bytes, then 50 into 4 is nothing but what, the total 200 bytes we are going to, at the time of the compilation, the total 200 bytes will be reserved. And out of this declaration, suppose at the time of the programming, only suppose I am accepting the 10 values there. So that means what? How many spaces I am going to use here? 10 into 4 is nothing but what? Only the 40 spaces, memory locations we are going to use here. Then out of 200, if I am using only the 40 spaces, that means total 160 spaces here we are going to waste here. That 160 spaces we can't use for any other purpose there, because that memory is already reserved there. We have reserved that space there. So no one is allowed to enter into that space here. So that means whatever these remaining spaces are there, that are going to waste here. So this is nothing but what? The memory wastage is the main disadvantage of the array. Same like reverse case also there. That means like in this case, I have declared here the integer a of 4 here. And suppose I want to access the 10 elements there, or I want to do the programming with the 10 elements there. Then as I have declared here the 4 spaces here, or the 4 elements here, I can only accept maximum 4 elements from the user. I can't access the 10 elements from the user. So this is also what? The shortage of the memory. This is again the another disadvantage of the array is there. So hope you have understood the basic concept of the array. What we have seen today here, what is meant by the array, what are the advantages, disadvantages of the array, how to declare the array, how to initialize the array, and the memory representation of the array. So this we have covered in this video.